Hello and happy Monday. So I know it's been a hot minute since you guys have seen me, 2.5 months. In fact, I think when I looked back to see when I had done my last videos, and so yes, it has been a while and it's been quite a ride. So about a couple months ago, I got about 5 inches of my colon taken out and resectioned, and so that is not surgery for the weak. And so it has been a good recovery by far. It has been, I've been well taken care of, and thank you for checking in on me, and I appreciate that so much. But I am now back to work, and so with that, it means play basically, but it's just been so fun to have some events and to get to see my people again. As much as I love binging and streaming and doing all sorts of that kind of stuff, like that gets old, and my house is pretty quiet as everybody else is gone for the day and scattered and busy with their things. So it is good to have my passion back for doing what I do and sharing that with you. So I have a couple cards, so I'm going to try and just hit it hard today by doing this video and showing you a couple Valentine projects that I've been working on for my classes. And if this goes well, I might even do a second video. We'll see how that goes, because I used to be able to just post this and then the links to all of the shopping that's associated with, like I could do that in my sleep, but things just kind of take a little bit longer as I ease back into it. In fact, I was a little nervous about even going live just because it had been so long also. So let me get my camera turned around. And in fact, I had bought a different camera a long time ago, and I was trying to get that set up for today's video. Whoops, I don't want it to get too much. And I had high hopes, and I just couldn't get my orientation right, and just really bummed about that, because I thought, man, it would look so nice if I could have it be a little bit more professional, and I think I might be able to make that happen, but then I would lose the ability to be able to talk to you ahead of time. And it's not about me showing you me, but I like that, like it puts a little bit of a person with me. And so gosh, yeah, I don't know, you can weigh in on that if you think nope, because what I would like is to have the camera just right above here, like you see a lot of other demos doing right here. You'd only see my face, because I can't figure out if my first go around, my cards were like this, and I'm like, well, that's not good. My second round, the cards look like this, but then anything with words like this, it was backwards, like the mirror image and such. And so because I have a lot of technical skills, but not enough to know how to figure that out. So the idea is great, but I'm just not getting there yet. All right, so the reason you came here is for some inspiration. And like I said, I've just been having so much fun with Valentine's. So the products that I'm using, I'm just going to go over them because, you know, some are online, most are online exclusives, if not all of these. So that is part of the reason too. So I love the new banner sayings. We've got the 3-punch that goes with the stamp set of banner sayings. So I'm using that. And then I'm also using this bundle, Endless Love. But keep in mind, it might seem like a lot of products, but I'm also making 2 cards for you with this. So I've got the Endless Love bundle. Love the dies that are in there, as well as the sayings. Can't wait to make up some more things that aren't Valentine's that use that too, because I think it's great and could be used year round for like anniversaries or just lots of things. And then Valentine Kisses. These bears are great. I commented that these bears remind me of the Charmin bears, especially like this one. I feel like it should be squeezing the Charmin and have a roll of toilet paper. So we've got some great dies, and I love the kissing booth that you can make out of that too. And then also in this video, I'm going to be using those party alphabet dies, which is that huge set. This is from the annual catalog, so I can show you that too. I actually did get an extra light that I just remembered I can put on for you guys. All right, so let me now show you the cards here, and I'm going to start with this one using the party alphabet dies. I'm just going to go with this one first. And so with the Valentine projects, that I'm doing. The things that I'm bringing in also are the Hearts of Love 3D embossing folder. This one's great. And then these fun doilies, lovely doilies. There's the white and the red and the large, which this is the large size and the small size. And then, of course, the awesome paper Made with Love 12 by 12. So I'm not going to pull that out because it's already kind of a long video by doing 2 cards. But you might see this and go, yes, the Made with Love. You can see lots of great stuff with hearts and pinks and reds and corals and all of that too. Hi there, Lynette. Thanks for popping in. So those are the things that I'm bringing in also. So I'm going to... So I have everything here. Like I said, I'm a little bit nervous. Bear with me. And then if I get nervous, I tend to also repeat like the word like or so or something like that too. And I already feel like I'm missing my top layer here of this. But the ladybug's here. It is a warm day finally. I shouldn't complain, but it's like seriously, a ladybug comes out. Hold on tight. Here is, I usually have, oh yeah, here we go. Usually have a little bit of an extra stash of things. There we go. So I know it can't be far. All right. So now I think I can make my card. Sorry about that. Okay. So what I'm starting with here for my card base is some real red folded this way. And then what I did, because these are from classes that I've done. So yes, I have been able to do some classes. And what I did ahead of time is took from the, I want to make sure I'm getting the right bundle, the Endless Love dies, this heart, and it's great because it's got the nice little polka dot things in there. So what I did is cut that out of a 4 by 5 1/4 piece here. And then after that, I ran it through my Hearts of Love 3D embossing folder. And the reason why I did the cut first and then embossed it is because if you run it through and then cut, the pressure of cutting is going to kind of just reflatten everything that you've worked hard by running it through the embossing folder. I wish that didn't happen because I then took the heart and ran the hearts through the embossing folder also because I wanted to have hearts on them for a different project, so that would have been great. But that's why I like to do the cutting first and then do the embossing for that reason. So before I put this on, I chose some fun paper from that Hearts of Love, Made with Love Designer Series paper. So I cut this just like a 1/16 inch less than that 4 by 5 1/4 so that it would just kind of sneak in behind there. And so I'm just going to put this on here. I almost feel like it might be easier to put it on here and then kind of shimmy this as well. So none of this so far is popped up. And some of you might go, yeah, I've seen this. I was at that class. And so I had a great turnout, you guys. It just warmed my heart. Fairmont, I had like 28 people. Medelia, I had like 20. And I went to Worthington. So it was just fun to see, like within 8 days, so many people. Okay, and this is where I want to just make sure. Yeah, that turned out really well. I didn't know if I'd have to shimmy it a little bit. So on my sample, it's flipped one way. On this one, it's flipped the other. Hi there, Heather. Thanks for joining in. So this one turns out really quick and easy, especially when you attend a class of mine and I have things like cut out already. So I'm just going to take the tops off of some of these mini dimensionals here with my Take Your Pick tool, like so. And then I can just take those up with my tool here and put some of those on my letters. Sometimes with the letters, they are large enough to fit the regular dimensionals on, but sometimes it's just easier to use time-wise to use the minis and just know that you don't have to look over like, okay, is this hanging out the edge somewhere or not? Oops. Okay. Yeah, but I just feel like, you know, they look kind of tiny on there, but they do their job. Okay. Right. And as I'm throwing my my little tops from my dimensionals into that garbage, that little ladybug is like, hey, I want to get on the video again. So today it was warm enough also that I had one of those fuzzy caterpillars that are like black and orange sneak into my garage too, and that was on the floor, and I thought, where did that guy come from? And obviously on a farm with dogs and us or whatever, it couldn't have been there for long or it would be flat. Okay, so now we've got all of these on my X's and O's, my X and my O. So I'm just going to kind of go like this way. I did it that way. And so since I kind of reversed, I'm just going to kind of go up and down like so on my card like that. So just kind of a fun way, couple different options there. And then for stamping, I want to open up my Real Red ink pad here and just stamp out from the banner sayings. I love that for just lots of little sentiments. And this says sending my love, and it's kind of tiny, like that whole stamp set is pretty small. I will bring that out again so you can see all the tiny little sayings here. But sending my love, it still shows up easy to read and such. And so I'm going to open that up and find the middle one that has the banner on both sides. Just going to give that a punch here. And then what I'm going to do is find my scissors. Yep, here we go. And just take kind of eye and measure that long strip along the edge, which you guys know I love to use my dimensional edges for sentiments like that. And so this is just going to go along the bottom there, sending my love. And then what I've been liking with this suite are the Strawberry Slush and Pretty Pink gems, and these are on the last chance list. So they're on sale, but get them before they are gone. And they just coordinate so well with so many of our projects between the gold, like there's a clear that has some like gold in there and such too. And so it's kind of fun to use these, and they have kind of different darker, lighter things like that. So the X and O, I'm actually going to put like 4 on there like that. Yes, Amy, isn't that punch great? Just love it. All right, and then for the inside, what I grabbed was, is it here anymore? Maybe not. I thought it, like I said, it could be a while till I feel like I have my jam back. You might go, Belle is not on top of her game like she usually is, but let me see here. It is like you're getting me at my real self. Okay, here we go. So I have Happy Valentine's Day, and I like this one too because it goes so well with the font of the banner sayings. But this is from the here we go, the Bumblebee. Be My Valentine. It comes from this set too. So that is the Happy Valentine's Day. But I just kind of, with that being a bigger sentiment, I wanted it to be larger for the inside. But like I said, I love that the fonts kind of match up like so. So I'm just going to put that on the inside of my card here. And then I'm going to move on to card number 2. And part of the reason why I wanted to get these going for you guys is I know it's already too late to order things and have them arrive in time, but also some of you have ordered these things. You might just need some inspiration for that last push of, I need to get some Valentines out, right? So, or you might have different things in your stash. If you're like me, you might be inspired by the idea or the layout, and then you can just use what you have too. So that's what I'm here for, is I always love to inspire you with just some ideas and copy layouts and things like that. So here's my second Valentine, and this is going to be using the Valentine Kisses bundle. So I'm starting with the Flirty Flamingo. This is Pretty in Pink. So I will be bringing in some Flirty Flamingo with the heart later and such too. So what I did with the doilies, So the lovely doilies, the largest one is pretty large, as you can see. So for scrapbookers, or if you're doing crafting projects, a lot of people are working on their Valentine boxes for kids or special grandkid things. So these are great because of the size, but I kind of like to show you that in comparison to a card front so that you can kind of see. Even though Stampin' Up! Gives us measurements, I am a big visual, just show me though what it really looks like. So what I did is just cut these, and my trimmer cut them in half. So I cut those down for the project, and then to adhere that, I just take my adhesive and kind of find the spots that have a little bit more the surface to them, and just kind of put my adhesive on there. Hi there, Diane, good to see you. And then I'm just going to put this towards the top, like so. So it goes right from the top along that edge there. And then from the cute Made with Love Designer Series paper here, there's a couple options. I chose this side, but I did see somebody do the opposite side, and I thought that kind of looked fun. So since my sample has this, I think I'm actually going to do the back side. Compliments of Sherry that was making this card in Worthington. I'm like, gosh, I really like that. Oh, and the measurements. So that's 4 1/4 across, because it goes across the whole card front, by 1.5 inches. So that is part of, I'm going to give you inspiration with layouts. I better be giving you measurements also, right? Okay, so now remember where I cut the heart out of this from my last card that I just finished up? What I did then was took all these hearts and ran them through the Hearts of Love 3D embossing folder, so I'm hoping that the camera picks that up. So now we've got the heart design on there, so I'm going to flip that over, and hopefully I've got all those holes punched out. Yeah, I think I did ahead of time, because I started, like I said, I was going to do this video actually on Friday, and like I said, I got a new camera, and I just couldn't get the orientation, or camera stand, I should say, because my camera is my phone, but I just couldn't get my orientation right for you guys, and I'm like, this is a disaster. Okay, so for the heart, I'm going to pop that up. I'm just going to put like 4 on there only, because we're going to pop up the bear too, and if this gets mailed, we don't want it to be too bulky and such. Hi there, Sherry, good to see you. All right, so this I'm just going to center there. And then let's open up, oops, let's scoot it across, my black Memento ink, and let's get the bear stamped up in the Memento black on some crumb cake here. Like I said, doesn't he just look like the Charmin bear? I think he's just so cute. And there's just a little bit of coloring I'm going to do, so I'm going to grab my dark Bubble Bath here. That Stampin' Blend, I'm just going to color in the inside here of his ears, and that's all I'm going to do, because I kind of want the focus to be on what he's holding and such. So let me just set my things aside and get out my cut and emboss machine here, and put that through like so. Oops. There. Okay, maybe. Now I feel like his ears are off. Okay, that looks good. Okay, it's just those things, like I said, after not doing a live video for how long, like I still know how to do all this stuff, but it just feels different. Okay. There we go. Okay, so got that. We've got kind of a fun surprise. So when this cuts out, the arms are like so. So when I take from that same Valentine Kisses dies, not only is this bear, there's like flowers and different things that the bear can be holding. So I took a Flirty Flamingo scrap here and cut out the stitched heart here, and then I can just kind of tuck that, oops, not too much, into right there, so you can kind of see it sticking out from the bottom and the top there. And then I'm going to tip that over, and what I like to do is just kind of put a dimensional that's going to hold that heart both on top and bottom, and just kind of line my dimensionals up that way. That way, when you attach it to the card, that heart isn't going to accidentally just kind of slide on through. We don't want that to happen. And I'm just going to put the bear here. Okay, now you guys will laugh. How many times am I doing a project and I'll have these little leftover scraps? So at Christmas, I made those cards and they had J-O-Y. So the joy that I cut out of the red glimmer paper, well, guess what? I kept all the centers of those O's, and I thought maybe I'll just cut out some H's and make it be ho, ho, ho. Well, I never got around to that. You guys, my recovery from my surgery was pretty intense, where I didn't even, like, I made just so few cards. Even my Christmas cards, luckily, I had made a whole stash at the end of last year, and that kind of held me through this year, so that was great. So my ho 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 idea just like was done. So I had this whole stash of these, and I think that looks like such a fun little rug. It looks like now the bear is standing on the rug, so that's pretty fun. And then from that same banner sayings from the first card that I did in this video, I am going to use that same set, and this is going to say, consider yourself hugged. And let me just ink that up in real red ink again. And that's going to be, here's my punch, right out of that middle section again, so that we get the banner on both sides. There we go. And then that is going to get popped up too. And this is where, man, if you didn't want this to be Valentine, you could just like change up the colors a little bit too. But consider yourself hugged. That could be for any time of year, because don't we all kind of need that? So I'm just going to put, this up here just a little bit, making sure, kind of always tilt it so you can see it, but making sure that it's not tilted on my card. So that comes together pretty fun and quick. Thank you, Donna. Yes, so some people had thought they were missing their notifications that it was going live and such, and I'm like, no, there's no lives to be notified of, because the brain power that it would take for my lives, I just wasn't at that focus yet and such. And then I thought, well, maybe if I start doing some classes, then I'll also develop the content to have ready for my videos also. And kind of like anything, you know, you need to kind of push yourself to step up to the plate. But I was at a point where I just didn't feel like I was ready to be pushed either, let's be honest. So yeah, there we go. So once again, using the Strawberry Slush and Pretty in Pink gems, like I said, last chance list. And so these just kind of make a fun little kind of silhouette of the heart there too. So there's different pink versions, lighters, darkers, and even the clear with the gold, which I like using. I'm surprised there's that many left on there, but like anything, once I come up with a project and use those will be gone in no time at all. Now for the inside, here we go. I just have my regular 4 by 5 1/4, and I'm going to put the Happy Valentine's Day. This one comes with the Valentine Kisses bundle. So on my other card, my first card that I showed you, I used the banner sayings a little bit, and then I liked that for the inside because the font stayed the same. And so then for this, I just wanted tiny and tiny. So the Valentine sentiment for the inside also comes from Valentine Kisses, even though, which is where the bear is from and the dies and everything, but the Consider Yourself Hugged comes from the banner sayings. So I'm going to finish it off. Like I said, sometimes I like to use everything from the same set, and actually the Valentine Kisses has some really, really good sentiments, and it's got a lot for like your cheesy little Valentines. I even love this little bird, and I thought, gosh, I want to incorporate that somehow into like a heartfelt message for a year-round thing in different colors or whatever. But sending lots of love your way to celebrate the special day could easily be a birthday or something like that too. So don't feel like, oh, I didn't get this ordered, I don't want to order it now because I'll never use it. I will be showing some things with that just because it's kind of fun. that way. And like, who doesn't want this teddy bear? I think growing up, didn't we all watch Looney Tunes and had the bear that got squeezed and hugged so much, right? Okay, so hopefully you enjoyed seeing these two cards. And let me get my camera turned around. Remember, like I said, hopefully this all comes back to me, but like 2.5 months, you guys, like it all just feels like I'm moving a little bit slower. So now I will post my 2 samples as well as the links to the product lines or SKU numbers and all that kind of stuff that you're used to seeing. So that, like I said, might take a little bit longer too. If I still feel like I have the energy, I will be bringing you a couple more cards in another video tonight, just because my husband, he's busy. He's farming. He took a semi-load full of soybeans to Fairmont, and he's like, I might just do a couple loads of that tonight since it's quiet here. We don't have anything going on, and if the lines aren't long, that's the whole thing. If you're a farmer's wife, like, no husband wants to sit in that line and just wait in the semi, especially when it's cold in the winter, right? So I thought, well, that kind of frees up my evening to connect with you guys. And if you haven't seen lately, I also celebrated my 30th stamp anniversary. So for my customers, I'm sending out some scratch offs, and some of you have gotten those already. I am still working on getting those out too, just because I just have X amount of time in my day. And so as I work on those are going to be going out. Hopefully they'll all be out this week. So take care. I'll see you next time.